first interactions with Epiphany were many, many years ago when Mr. Miesner was principal here, prior to Mr. Fraker. And he invited some of the administrators from Concordia to come and lead chapel. And so I did that, I think, 4 or 5 years in a row when Mr. Miesner, was principal. And that was really my first time ever on campus. That was, again, many years ago, but it was fun to be able to lead chapel and feel the vibrancy, the worship energy that was coming from the students then many years ago, the teachers and even Mr. Miesner, who was laying a nice foundation for what was to come. And so you mentioned that we do have graduates from Epiphany who go on to Concordia and each year over year. And I have gotten to know quite a few of those families, as you might imagine, not because the kids were in trouble. Again, assistant principal. Some people might think, oh man, does that mean that Epiphany graduates go and they become trouble? No, they're not in trouble at Concordia. In fact, they are very well equipped to come and do very well academically. They get involved in extracurricular activities. Socially, they make friends, not just their Epiphany group, but beyond that Epiphany group very quickly into other groups and other social settings. And so that made it very interesting for me when the call came to say, Lord, where do you need me to serve for the 25-26 school year and beyond? Is it in a continued role at Concordia, or is it a new role as principal of Epiphany? And through lots of prayer, through lots of deliberation, through looking at the lens of strong school program, Christ at its foundation at Epiphany, and the continuation of that at Concordia and the partnership that we've experienced, even to this day and moving forward too, as Epiphany is an association congregation in support of Concordia, and Concordia actually is in support of Epiphany as well. It goes both directions. It was a beautiful thing when the Lord said, Matt, I need you and your wife and your family to become members of Epiphany Lutheran Church. I need you to certainly serve as principal of the school, and we'll see what the Lord has in store moving forward in that partnership. On the pro list, in terms of considering the call to Epiphany to be principal, there were 2 things that really were of paramount importance. There were others on that list, don't get me wrong, it wasn't just a list of 2 pros, but the 2 that really were intriguing to me. I've been heavily involved in Lutheran school accreditation for many years, actually since 2010. And so I have been able to interact with, probably in more of not just a surface conversation level, but more of a little deeper level, with probably 55 to 60 Lutheran elementary schools and early childhood centers through accreditation interactions. And I've actually, to the point where I was even a part of the National Lutheran School Accreditation Commission, Executive Committee, where I was one of the leaders on their executive committee. I was secretary of that group for 3 years. And so, especially in that capacity, is where I had a chance to interact with leaders and parents and teachers and even students of lots of Lutheran elementary schools and early childhood centers during especially those 3 years. But again, since 2010, I've had lots of interactions beyond just those 3 years. And so when I had this call to Epiphany, and I have worked with lots of schools that are similar in size to Epiphany, similar in what I feel is the tremendous level of parental support and grandparent support at Epiphany, the relationship between a congregation, even on the same plant, like the same building area, the same stretch of ground that Epiphany enjoys between the church and the school, even the same early childhood that's on the same plot of land as opposed to being blocks away or miles away, but it's all in one unified effort saying, let's do this thing called church and school together. It was very intriguing and very exciting to think about, hey, I've had interactions, I've seen what has gone well in Lutheran schools. As you might imagine, I've seen things that might be needing to be built upon, corrected, or helped moving forward. And so it was exciting for me to have a chance to step into that.